Ready?
Go.
Yeah, okay. Hello, here we are again on your computer with different opinions. How dare we have different opinions to you? Get lost, get off my screen, having different opinions. Ridiculous. Who are these two ridiculous people? Ridiculous. And yeah, Leftoverture. This is the Carry On Wayward Son one. I need to hear the first two. I haven't heard the first two. Something I didn't mention last week is that I've got, had Mask, Leftoverture and Point of No Return for many, many years. It's really the first three are the proggy ones, I think, really. And after that, they get more AOR. This one's interesting because Steve Walsh, the singer, had writer's block, so it's Kevin Livgren all the way. Who I think's the guitarist. He suddenly became like this AOR songwriter for some reason. Completely dominating the writing. There's some good stuff on here. It lacks the interesting stuff that's on Mask, but there's some fantastic proggy bits, actually. I don't think the melodies are as memorable as Mask, though, so that's the thing. It's got the famous song on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it feels very much more polished.
Yeah.
It feels like a very sort of heavily produced album almost, in the sense that there's no fading out at the end of songs on here. There's definite sort of well-structured songs that finish.
Yes.
So in that sense, it feels like there's some producing going on that says, actually, no, you've got to finish this song. Which is good, because if they're looking for commercial success, Carry On Wayward Son, obviously delivered that. But from my point of view, that makes it a little bit more boring. Yeah, it feels more sort of...
Yes, there it is. It's the correct songs.
Yeah, correct songs in the correct order. Although, as you say, there is some interesting stuff going on there, but it's sort of... for some reason, that doesn't raise the album like it does on Mask. And in places when, you hear something really quite impressive on Mask, you're like, okay, yeah, that gives you a nice vibe about the album, whereas this is a bit... It just feels like another bit.
Which it is.
Yeah.
That's actually literally what it is, because it is leftovers. It was they sort of run out of steam, and tried to hack an album together from bits and pieces they got, and somehow he'd written lots of songs and managed to write a proper hit. So it was their breakthrough album. It works really well. It's one of those why nobody knows why. It's just it does work as an album, and it fit together, and people liked it, and everyone bought it, and then everyone was listening to Kansas, and they started playing stadiums instead of cupboards. I always liked his vocals, and that's part of the general sound of the band, the guitar and the violin. There's not enough violin in this one, and the vocals. It's all clean. It's all very clear. I like that. And obviously, Mask has less good production, so it's a little bit muddy. This makes it really crispy. I like that sound. I would associate it with Martin Birch, very much that kind of thing, and I like that. The clarity to it.
Yeah, I find the vocals kind of melt in a little bit. They're not sort of, the great vocalists there are very distinctive. This seems very, not bad, sort of very run-of-the-mill almost. I've heard a lot of, you hear a lot of this type of vocal, and there's nothing specifically that I would pick him up on and say, oh, that's great, or that's different, that's new. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a songwriter singing his songs, and he sings. Yeah. And he doesn't sing, he doesn't sing, he just sings, Classic riff, Carry On, isn't it? It's not just a song, it's a classic riff. Used in Supernatural at the end of each season, which is still going. Season 11 or 12 or something, it's ridiculous. I'm sure Cheyenne Anthem was sampled or something recently. There's the choir bit and the bit after that. I'm sure it's been somewhere, and I've googled it, it's nothing there, it's just me. It's very strange.
You've been making it up.
I love the middle bit of that, the violin and the gentle giant-y stuff. I love all that. But yeah, should we have done the first three? Probably. I haven't heard the first two, so I don't really know. But then we really just got calls to do this one. So we've got to do this one, so just do the ones that I've got, made more sense. It is the sellout album though, because they are going AOR, and in 2 albums' time we wouldn't even touch it. It becomes much more middle of the road. I mean, Dream Theater had a sellout album, didn't they? Which is actually right, but it had no effect on sales at all. So they just carried on what they were doing, which is brilliant, Whereas, this was huge, so that was it. That's what they are now. Where you've got to do more Carry On Wayward Sons and The Wall and all that stuff. More of that, please. Less of the stuff. And the balance tipped in the wrong direction. Let's Dance. was a sellout album, wasn't it? And he's, that was massive as well. That destroyed his muse. 10 years of crap from Bowie. People don't say that now, of course, but there was 10 years of crap because of Let's Dance. Whereas that didn't happen with them. They didn't lose their muse at all. They got two really great strong songwriters, and they carried on making songs, but not in a style we would follow as it goes on. At this point, it's still rock, and there's still progginess. So Peter Gabriel was the same again. In that he was never really the same. I'm not a fan of Us particularly. That was the end technically. He's done good stuff since then, but so was the end, wasn't it? But it isn't fair to call that out with Kansas, possibly because they haven't made it yet. This is our thing now. We do this. We're like, I don't know, Toto or something. I think really influential. Actually, I think it influenced 90125. I think, what's his name? The guitarist in the 80s, yes, him. I think he's really influenced by Kansas. Randy Rhoads, I think, I suspect. Lots of stuff like that. Because they were big at that sort of 76, 77 time. Magnum Opus is good. See, that could go here, there. Well, it almost does.
See, that's good, You listen to it, and it is good.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah, I suppose, good but not great, I suppose. It doesn't actually inspire... It's not enough to put the album on.
I tell you what I've noticed, which is probably where I run into troubles with Yes, even though I said, I bloody love Close to the Edge and all that in my revisit and stuff like that. It's taken that, I don't like Yes, which is broadly true. Genesis do the moments a lot better, like the 666.
Yeah, the
Supper's Ready and the
kick in.
And the
Broadway melody.
Yeah. They just, they do those moments and they're like, wow, that's amazing. And when that, there's a sudden change, but it's not a great moment, It's just like,
another bit.
Yeah, we're kicking it up again now. It's not like everything's come together and bloody hell, this is turned into what was it? What's the one on Lamb? Fly on the Windshield, is it?
Yeah, Fly on the Windshield. Yeah. Bang.
I listened to that the other day and I was just like, yeah. I didn't get it at the time when we reviewed it. I struggled with that one because
it takes time, doesn't it?
Well, it's a double album.
Yeah.
We're going to listen to this.
One of the heavy, the
in your
trickiest.
In your lunch breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Genesis managed to pull that off quite well. Whereas Yes, I found didn't have the moments weren't quite so profound.
Moment.
Yeah, I need a good moment to make get into the upper echelons of music. So I think Kansas, it feels blocky. It feels sort of like lots of stuff.
Yeah. And this album should, because that's what it is.
Yeah. And this just feels a bit blank, really. Some decent songs on it.
But I was going to say, Magnum Opus, really good. It doesn't sound like a Magnum Opus. It's just some playing and some cool stuff, which is great. And actually, you could argue it straddles something. It straddles the convoluted prog that came before and going to the much simpler Iron Maiden epics. It's somewhere between those two, which is, I suppose, for a band, is the place to be if you want to be successful.
Yeah.
And that's clever. That intro definitely inspired by Heart of the Sunrise, and it really struck me when you directly compare like that. This is much slicker, and maybe that's part of the reason it sounds more bland. Is just because it's so slick and produced and very good production for the time. Which is interesting. It's 76. It's around the time of Rumours. The production on Rumours is terrible. I've got the original CD. It's really quiet. You have to turn it almost up full because it's like strange. This doesn't sound like this is. This is the remaster, or one of the remasters. There's 10 tracks, 2 bonus tracks, and it's very good. Yeah. You've got Opus Insert, which is track 5, and I assume that was part of Magnum Opus originally, and they decided to take it out. So they must have been thinking about fitting things together properly. Just too bitty to fit, I suppose. They were on Don Kirshner's label. It was Don Kirshner was the guy saying, "Come on, be successful, make pop songs." That just Don Kirshner. All I think of is Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, which was a TV show, and they had Black Sabbath on there in 1975. That's the best Sabbath footage. It's only 25 minutes, and there's 5 songs. I think it's the best Sabbath footage, and of course, Don Kirshner, perfect because he's a dodgy mafia guy, perfect for Sabbath to get screwed up with and messed around by. Steve Walsh, not to be confused with Joe Walsh. They're different people. And for a few years I was confused. That's 3 eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 eggs.
Great.
Excellent.
We'll see you next week for Point of No Return. Wow, profound, dude.
May as well say point of no return on point of no return.
Every rose has a thorn.